Are you doing Airbnb? Do you own investment property? Are you thinking the road to wealth and millions of dollars is investment property? For many of us, we do. But if you want to know, this could be a huge pitfall for all of us to reach our goals and dreams. Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Matthews. I'm President and CEO of Gibson Monroe Wealth Advisors and Matthews Financial Insurance Solutions. Yesterday, I was reading this unfortunate article about how this young man passed away a while vacation in Florida. On that property, he was in a property, he was swimming, this teenage boy, and unfortunately, he passed away. He drowned to death. And because of that drowning, what his family ended up doing was suing and won the settlement for $1.3 million. Now, they did not just sue Airbnb, where they got the property from, but they sued the host family and the property owner for this property. And for all of us, we have these ambitions of building wealth, having some positive cash flow, some passive income by owning rental property. But oftentimes, this could be a nightmare if we don't protect ourselves with it. So I really want to make this episode right now on our channel about what you could possibly do to protect yourself, so you have to run into these type of situations. So let's really dive deep into what all of us should be doing if we own some type of property. Before we get started, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as we're always trying to educate the American people and how they can protect themselves while building their wealth. So the first thing that we should do is make sure property titling is correct. Oftentimes in our office, we have clients or new clients who come to our office say they own an investment property. But what we often see is when they own this investment property, it is titled incorrectly. What do I mean by that? Oftentimes the properties, these investment properties, are in their name. So with that being said, once it's in their name, they are held with personal liability for anything that has happened in that property. So what I always recommend is when we're in these type of situations, we do a couple different things. One thing is we should never have investment property in our names. We should title it correctly. Often what people usually think, though, hey, Jason, I have a trust. A trust do not protect us today if something happens towards us. It's a great way to pass down wealth and protect our heirs, but it does not protect us right now, currently, if something happens towards us. So what I recommend is what we recommend is that we change the titling towards that property. And we can do it a couple different ways. One way we could possibly do with that is taking it from direct ownership and putting it into a direct LLC. Now, the great thing is, if we do get sued, only thing that can be sued is the assets in the LLC. And if it's our investment property, that's the only thing they can touch. They cannot touch any of our other savings, investment properties, so on and so forth. So this might be a great way to do it. Also, if you have different properties at that time, you might want to consider having multiple LLCs. The reason being, everything that's held in that one LLC that gets sued could all be. So if you have $1 million property here and $1 million property somewhere else, but they're all underneath that LLC umbrella, all of it could be held liable if any type of lawsuit has happened. So what I recommend is looking at possibly doing multiple LLCs per property, where each one shows themselves from any other losses that might happen, or do multiple LLCs, but do a parent one. Now, that might be a little bit more complicated, but what a parent LLC does is this. One thing it does is if we have multiple properties, each one are protect themselves from each one. But instead of having the hassle of having multiple LLCs and doing multiple tax returns, with a parent LLC, one LLC on top of the rest, we only have to file one tax return for that one LLC instead of a tax return for every single one. So it kills two birds with one stone. It's a little bit more work ahead of time, but like they say, a penny saved is a pound short. And so we have to think about the grander things of things as well. That family, 1.3 million. Oftentimes that might kill all of us from our retirement dreams. We might have to work a little bit longer. And I know Airbnb, what they did was they passed that liability probably on to that family, saying it was that family responsibility because they didn't do the proper safety precautions. I hate for that to happen to any of us. Now, after we get our LLC and we format that, we want to make sure that we foolproof our dreams and our financial plan. So the second thing I always recommend when we look at buying investment property is having an umbrella insurance policy. What an umbrella insurance policy does is protect us from those liabilities. And now I'll always say my rule of thumb is traditionally wise, if we have umbrella policy, is to make sure that we get 2 to 3 times our net worth. What umbrella insurance does is we go to our insurance company, ask for an umbrella policy. Here in California, it might be tougher because certain insurance companies might not cover the others, but there are companies who will do umbrella policies, and they're really not expensive. They're actually very cheap. And what we can do is get them by the millions. It can be 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. And what I always say is you want to get 2 to 3 times your net worth and umbrella insurance protection. What it does is any other liability insurance you have is that umbrella that covers you for any additional amount. So if you only have a $3 million limit, the umbrella might give you additional $2 million worth of coverage if there's any type of losses that might happen. Now, with that being said, I know that oftentimes we have these properties and we want to build wealth. And I know we're doing things, we might be confused. But if you have any questions on how to properly plan, how to put the structure your financial plans and your business correctly, make sure you give us a call here at our office at Matthews Financial Insurance Solutions and give some Monroe. And we're glad to be able to help you and assist you. Don't be naive to think that nobody's going to sue you just because we're friends, we're staying out of property, so on and so forth. Make sure that you properly protect yourself, because in a snap of a finger, we can lose it all. If you got something out of this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Thank you guys all for listening. If you have a friend who has an investment property at Airbnb, make sure you share this video. Thank you so much.